Oh, is that getting out of it?
Oh crap! The problem with you standing where you are, if I miss low, it goes forever and I have no ammo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another fabulous episode of Fog's World. Guilty and Ruprecht and I are entertaining one another here.
Ow!
So gosh, be quiet, guys. I can't do my intro. So in today's episode of Fog's World, fly. Fly, please fly. There we go. In today's episode of Fog's World, I thought I'd take a break from working on the house, and instead, I'm going to build a witch farm right there below my feet. Right there. That's where it's going. Right there. And, so enough of this silliness. No more. I'm done. So first, I need to mark off where the witch farm will go. And I have to remind myself of what the coordinates are for this. I think, if I remembers correctly, it goes all the way out to here. And one above the roof, but at the roof line. So that means, one of these goes here. This will be one floor. And then we go down, skip to this. I hope it being this low isn't going to be a problem, but I don't think so. I think we'll be okay. I think it'll spawn all the way down to there. I think we're okay. Some of the stop. Yeah. So I think we'll be okay. I may have to go and double check the coordinate system, but I think we're all right. So this one goes up to here. And so I thought for fun, we'd build the floor out of... We're going to do a shifting witch farm, like you do. And I thought I'd build it out of alternating rows of soul sand and orange terracotta. Because orange terracotta just looks so good. No, it really doesn't. But it goes well with the soul sand. So I think it goes to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's right. And then this is going to come all the way to here. And then that goes all the way out to the other one. All the way out to here. Yeah. Whoop, not there. And that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. That and that and that. And now we've marked the perimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 9. Yeah, I think that's right. Pretty sure that's right. Okay, so next thing I need to do is place some torches here so that witches won't spawn while I'm working. And then I think what I need to do is tear down the witch hut. And what are you doing?
I'm placing torches.
That's not helping. Actually, get out of my build. I don't need your help. Particularly not the way you tend to help.
I help great.
No, get out of here. You're ruining my video. Please stop. I am going to cut you off. I will take away your access.
Oh.
So there.
After all I've built on this server?
You haven't built anything on this server. I've built everything.
That's not true. The wither,
my
skeleton.
My fans will attest that everything on this server they've seen me build. Well, maybe not. There's a bunch of stuff they haven't seen yet.
Yep, that's true.
There is a bunch of stuff that people haven't seen yet.
That's what happens when you have a server full of people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I missed.
I need a chest and I need one quickly.
I've got a bunch. Here, I'll fly some over to you.
No. I've got one. I'll be good. I'll be fine. It's just I got this little problem in that I've got my inventory full of stuff and I didn't bother to put it anywhere. So let's make a couple of chests, plunk that down, and then put a bunch of stuff in here. There we go. Now I can collect this stuff. What are you doing?
I'm jumping.
Okay. Stop.
Gosh, Dad, isn't it that obvious?
Just stop, please. Leave me to build my witch farm. You are harassing me. I don't like to be harassed.
It's so much fun.
This is why I tended to avoid playing on servers. It's people like you. You are part of the problem, my friend.
I am the problem,
You
not part
are
of it.
the problem. Yes, you are.
At least he admits it.
He is totally a problem. Level up. Okay, there's most of the pistons I need. We have to come down. This is going to come down to there, and then this. So if they're at the top, then I need. Let's see, where's my center? This is the center right here. So that means I need the pistons to go there. Pistons have to go there. And that should be pretty much it for regular pistons in here. But
No, these are my dad's jokes.
But I am gonna have to edit that out of the episode for sure.
Oops. I didn't know you were recording, sorry.
It's okay. I'm very often recording.
He can always edit.
I cut a lot out. Now, I don't know which side I want to bring this down from. This is where it gets a little difficult for me because I can't remember how to do this and I don't want to go back over to the other side. I think I put this in the wrong spot. Why? How could that be? I'm dead center. Yeah. Oh, man. No, I know what it is.
What'd you do?
I built from the wrong side of the farm.
Oops.
Yeah, that's okay. I can fix it easily enough. I didn't get very far, so it's alright. I knew something was wrong. I also think maybe I want to build it a little lower anyway. Oh, that's a weird noise. That was a really odd noise. That was kind of creepy there. Ah! I mined into a cave. Didn't want to do that.
Why are you mining? I thought you were building a witch farm.
Well, I have to dig out some stuff to get below it. And next thing I know, I'm like falling into a cave. It was rather distressing, if I do say so. Alright, so now I'm on the correct side anyway. So that's good. I got that going for me, which is nice. All right, I think I got that in the right spot this time. Okay. Yes. Finally have this in the right spot. And we need comparators. We get a comparator there, and a comparator there, and a comparator there and there. And then we can backfill all this. And now we'll be able to fire that piston when we need it. Okay, so if I come up here, where did my button go? I can come over here. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. So every time there's a pulse here, that's gonna fire a bunch of times. That's what we needed. Okay, good. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! That's really annoying that I'm right above a mine. It's really, really annoying. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use powered rails right there. So when that gets triggered, it will make that rail come on and off. And then we can use an observer to watch that rail change, which will cause this to pulse. And then we can do the same thing here. Get over here. Go there and there. And we can put an observer here as well. Like that. And rails and an observer here. There's my observer right there. Like that. And now, whenever this pulses, all the pistons will fire. Yeah, perfect. That's what we wanted. Let's get out of here. And we'll trigger it from above and watch the fun. Ah, maybe I'll be able to get out of here. Oh, perfect. So that's how we're going to force the witches to go down into that little teeny hole right there. And then they are going to fall down this hole. And I'm going to put a bunch of minecarts down there to kill them. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I would kind of like all this loot to kind of pop up right here. So rather than get too creative, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark a waypoint right here. Sure, we'll mark a waypoint right here. X marks the spot. Right there. That's where I want all the stuff to come up. So, I'm just going to make a little hole for it there. Now I can use that to judge where my ejector mechanism ought to be. I need a dropper. And I've already got a couple observers, so I can make an observer clock. And let's get down in here and dig this out. So this guy is going to go... So if all the witches come here and die and land on this here. That's what they're going to do. There we go. Not quite over it yet. There. This is where I want it. So this is where my observer is going to, my dropper is going to go. Right there. And that means I need a pair of observers beneath it. So let's get over here. We're going to put one observer looking down. Right there. And another observer looking up. Right there. And this is going to make some noise, but deal with it. So, dig this out temporarily, because I'm going to need to put my rail cars right on that. So, I don't think I've got enough hoppers. So we will do this temporarily here. All right. So we're going to put rails there. I'm going to put a bunch of mine carts right there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, put a bunch of mine carts right there. And then they're going to all go through these hoppers all the way to here, where I'm going to have a dropper facing up. I don't want to put it there yet because it's going to make noise once I do. And I don't have enough hoppers. Okay, so I need rail, and I'm going to build 24 mine carts to place on there. Okay, so mine carts. That I don't have room to hold 25 mine carts. That's okay. You know what I know? Doggone it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough for now. It occurs to me that I've got just the right amount of iron, so I don't need to count the mine carts. I just need to make them.
Wow, I found a horse population on an island. Like 12 of them.
Well, good for you. 12 horses on an island?
It's Horse Island.
Horse Island.
Yeah.
Of course it's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
What else would it be?
I don't know. Okay, so that little spot right there is where any items that get thrown down into there are going to appear. So if I come over here, whatever I do, I don't really want to fall into that. But let's see, if I throw that in there, for example, then I should be able to climb out, and it should show up over here. And sure enough, it did. Oh, goody. Okay, that still works. Good. Okay. All right, update. Update. We have a mechanism to push the witches into that little spot. And anything that, and then they get crushed by the entity cramming there with all the mine carts, and then all their stuff goes through hoppers and a dispenser and shows up right where this is. Right over here, where this loud racket is that's going on. Kind of makes me want to bury that a little deeper, but for now, it'll do. Yeah. Yeah, I might want to bury that so that I don't have to hear it. But for now, it's fine. Next thing we need to do is we need to build the water to push them into that spot. Yeah. All right, we now have the water thing going. Get me out of here. Yay, and I didn't die. Always a good thing, not dying. I approve of not dying. So now, if I throw something in the water there, then they'll get pushed into there. And then, if anything triggers this, those guys fire. Nice. And then they'll go over here. Ha-ha! Ta-da! Okay, well that's progress, that is. Alright guys, thought I'd do a little quick check-in. I've been building a bunch of this stuff off camera, mostly because there have been other people in the room, and I don't want to stop them from doing what they want to do. But I thought I'd quick check in. Got the floors put in. We're putting trap doors here because these are shifting floors, and by alternating full blocks with sand blocks, the shifting floors will cause the witches to fall through the floor because they'll get pressed up against the trap doors there. So that's what we've got going there. We have a row of not comparators. These are comparators. These are block update, observer blocks. That's the word, observer blocks. So you see I hit these, all those will fire, right, when it detects a block update. And the same over there, but I'm not going to trigger those because I don't want to pop off the torches just yet. So the next step will be to come through and actually hook all this stuff up. And the way we're going to do that is we'll start over here, and we'll build a thing like right there. There'll be like a piston that pops up that triggers an observer, that triggers this whole observer chain. And so this floor will shift, and it'll trigger that floor to shift, and this one will shift, and that one will shift, and this one will shift, and that one will shift, and then it'll trigger all the pistons down below. So this is not my design, and you've seen me build this before if you watched last season. The last witch farm I built last season is identical to this one. This is based on an Il Mango design, which I really, really, really like. I think it was Il Mango. Look below. I'll try to remember to put an attachment. By the way, a while ago, somebody asked what the mechanism was. And actually, why don't I just real quick show you in case I forget to do this. I'm going to try and do this in another video, but in case I forget, we'll just come pop up here. I'll explain how this thing works. Because this circuit here is exactly the same circuit that I'm going to build down there to trigger the witch farm. It's exactly the same. You got a lever here that powers a comparator, and that comparator is being fed by this repeater here, which causes this to pulse on and off as this repeater comes on and off. So when it comes off, that sends a full strength pulse into these comparators. This becomes a comparator decay clock right here, because this is allowing one tick of one redstone strength of decay per redstone tick. So This just slowly decays. Well, plus all the delays from the comparators as well. See, there's delay as it passes, 1 tick delay as it goes through each comparator, and then a tick delay here, all the way back around, that feeds into here again. So what's happening is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ticks later, this will drop 1. And then it'll do it again, this will drop 1 again. And again, it'll drop 1. When this finally gets to 0, this turns off and that initiates the pulse again. So it's exactly the same exactly the same circuit I'm going to build down there. And in fact, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with it, which is as soon as I detect a rising pulse here, I'm going to use a piston to fire upward and trigger a pulse. It's that simple. So it's really nothing fancy. All it's doing is repeatedly triggering a pulse every so many seconds. That's all it's doing. And then I'm using that pulse above this block update detector here. You'll see it'll go, oh, wait a minute. What happened to my... Oh, well, that's interesting. My sand disappeared. Huh, I'm glad I came up here. There's supposed to be a block of sand up there, but it's not there, presumably because an Enderman has come and taken it. You stinking Enderman. Okay, well, there's probably... the problem is that I used sand, because they can take sand. So now that I've got more materials, let's fix that. Actually, I could have stayed up there, but whatever. I'll replace the regular piston with a sticky piston, and then we'll put a block that Enderman won't pick up, like this orange terracotta, for example. And that will solve that problem. So here we go. Back up. Glad I checked. Ah, come on. Fly, please. There we go. It's annoying how many rockets you have to burn to make that happen, you know? And what we will do is we will put a piece of terracotta right up there, which the piston will grab once it extends. And boom. There we go. And now we'll plug this right back. Oh, and there you heard it. Okay, so let's watch this again. What's going to happen is the piston will retract when this goes off, which it will do in a few seconds. There you go. And now the pulse will come through again to make it fire. That creates a single tick pulse here, which triggers this dispenser. There's a dispenser right beneath that. So this, what is it? This observer, I keep forgetting the name of that thing. My gosh, I must be off my game. So this observer gets triggered by the redstone. That fires a pulse in the block below, which triggers the dispenser. We'll come over here. Come down here and you'll be able to see a little bit better. So you can see right there that that's a water dispenser facing down. No, sorry, that's the observer block facing down. There's a water dispenser there facing up that dispenses water right above it. And so the observer fires because it's right above the dispenser, and a pulse above a dispenser will cause the dispenser to fire. The dispenser fires. That creates a block update, which the observer below detects and passes on below. So basically you're using an observer air block dispenser chain to relay that pulse all the way down to every level of the farm. And that pulse is just long enough to flush all of the mobs off the platform down below. And because I've alternated the floors, so one dispenser has water dispensed and the next one doesn't, all the way down, there are always spawn spaces in this farm. All at any given time. There is never a time when there are no spawn spaces. So anyway, that's the circuit. That's how it works. I'm going to build that circuit right behind here to trigger all of these pistons, all these observers, which will fire all those pistons, which will cause the floor to shift. And oh my goodness, that's a long-winded explanation. You know what? I'm just going to go off and build it, and then I will be back and I will show you what I've built. And here, let's climb up here and I'll show you how this all works. So you can go back and look at either my other video, or you can look at the tutorial and below, and that'll show you everything that matters. But the gist of it is, all of these observers, and yes, there are many, trigger things in order. So when this piston extends, it flashes that rail, which triggers all of the observers in the right timings, and I will show it to you now. So it goes up, and now we're going to wait for this to decay, and I messed up, didn't I? No, I didn't. No, that's right. So this creates a bit of an extra delay here. That doesn't really matter so much. There it goes. It triggered again. So here, we'll watch it from over here again. So you can see that the redstone here is slowly decaying because it's going through this big long line of comparators, and every time it goes through the comparators it drops one. And there you go. That's it. Now the only thing left to do is cover this up and build a sorting system for all the loot. So let's go get a bunch of half slabs and start slabbing. All of these observers, that it's sorting for everything. Got an overflow item ejector in case these all fill up. Now, there is one slight problem, and it's one that I totally anticipated. Because this is built where it is and it's so close to that farm there, this farm remains active while this farm is active, and so I'm splitting spawn between the two. Which is not, like I said, that's not unexpected. I totally expected that. I did go put a marker down where those minecarts are that kill the witches, so I know how far away I can get from this farm before I stop spawning witches in the farm, before the witches will despawn. So I'm thinking what I might do is I might build an AFK platform up here somewhere, if I can get it far enough away from that farm. I did already build one up here, right up there where that is. So you, whoosh. Let's see if I can land on this. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, I failed by jumping off. Anyway, so there's an AFK platform there, but of course that keeps this farm active down below. And I don't really need this farm active right now. I've already filled all the chests. Yeah. So there are options. I mean, obviously I could build another AFK platform right above that farm. I could do something to this farm to stop it spawning. That's not a horrible idea. It would be a pretty easy thing for me to rig lights up inside that farm to shut it off so that only the witch farm's active. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that though. So, of course I could, I'll bet I could think of a way to eject. Well, I could go in and swap the water so that it's always on or always off, and then stop the farm with the water always on. That actually might not be a bad idea. It would reduce the rates of this farm a little bit, but even if I didn't stop that farm entirely, now there's a thought. Even if I didn't stop this farm entirely, by having it all on or all off, I would be able to have it so that this alternates active spawning with the witch farm instead of splitting active spawning with the witch farm. Although, yeah, I don't know. That way I could at least turn that off. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will disable the spawning in this farm that way. Well, guys, I think that's all that we have time for today. So, as always, thank you so much for watching and subscribing and leaving a like. And please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. We haven't quite met our goal yet in order to start our fan server. But if we get enough patrons on Patreon, then I'll be able to set up a fan server and we can all play together on that. And I would love to do that. So please tell your friends and tell your enemies to come watch Fog's World and to come be patrons on Patreon. And as always, I will see you all next week. Goodbye, guys.